Hi, I'm Brent Hull Historical. Today I'm going to talk to you about ornament. Ornament is one of those lost arts of buildings that we have kind of forgotten how to do. We've forgotten its purpose and how it relates to our buildings and design. How did we lose ornament? How did we lose this idea of ornamentation? Well, it goes back to the early modern period when Mies van der Rohe adopted the idea of less is more. The idea that simple expression of architecture as opposed to the false skins of ancient societies was a better expression of architecture. And this advanced the modern movement into America. By the 1960s and 70s, Robert Venturi was saying less is a bore. In other words, we'd gone too far, we'd lost the expression of architecture, and things began to look the same. Everything began to appear monotonous. So this return to ornamentation and return to ornamenting things has come back. But in that 50-year, 60-year period of modernism, we've forgotten the art of ornamentation, the art of design. Well, there's three things really to remember as you ornament, as you look to use ornamentation in your building. First of all, ornamentation is communication. Ornamentation is a language. Ornamentation ought to, because it's expressive, there's a difference between French ornamentation and English ornamentation and Italian ornamentation. On my left here is an English pilaster that comes from ancient designs from the Tudor and Jacobean period of English architecture. The strapwork carving, all those details, even the wood, express it English style. So it has an English language. On my right here is more of a Palladian style design coming from under Palladio and in Italy, the egg and dart going back to the strong classical era. So each has a different language, each has different uses of moldings and different ways of expressing wood so that it communicates. So when you're ornamenting, remember it's part of a communication process. Remember that the ornamentation that you use should be expressive to the style that you're employing on your project. Second, ornamentation is part of hierarchy. Ornamentation is part of communicating a time and a place. Don't ornament everywhere, okay? Ornamentation is not to be used throughout the house. In other words, there ought to be a layering and a level of ornamentation that communicates where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to land, what rooms are important, what rooms aren't important. You aren't going to ornament a closet the same way you're going to ornament a dining room. So to use ornamentation in those ways and to express higher ornamentation, more ornamentation in an important room is part of that language. And finally, finding the expert and finding someone who really understands how to ornament and how to put things together is very important. Ornament's difficult today because I think that 95% of all off-the-shelf ornamentation, brackets and carvings and things like that are wrong. They either are blocky, chunky, or they certainly don't correspond to the true architectural styles going back to antiquity. So you need to be careful today, and the key is to team up with and to align yourselves with designers that really understand this. And certainly designers in the ICA, the Institute of Classical Architecture and Art, would be a group and a team that would understand these kinds of language and this form of expression. So I want to encourage you to ornament. I want to encourage you to use ornamentation to express beauty, because one of the things that we need in our homes today is we need beauty. Thank you for watching. We have other videos available on architecture and design that I encourage you to watch as well, and encourage you to pursue beauty and great design in all your projects.